Okay, so church, this morning I am going to tell you a bit of a story, following on from, I know we had Easter recently, so it's just a short story about something that happened not long after the resurrection. Now, I'm going to need your participation and involvement in this story. Every single member of the church, whether you're at home, whether you're in the building, old, young, don't really care who you are, you've got to get involved in this story, because as I tell you this story, you need to listen out for certain words, and when you hear certain words, I want to see you do certain actions. So I'm going to demonstrate, we'll have a little practice, and then I'll tell you the story. I'm just wondering if I can possibly find the church. Oh, I can see the church building now, that's great. Okay, so when you hear the name Simon Peter in this story, I want you to stand up, reach your hands up to the sky and touch your toes. So can we have a wee practice? If I say Simon Peter, you do up to the sky and touch your toes. Brilliant. Okay, when you hear the word fish, I want you to go with your mouth. Now, some of you have got masks on, so I'm just going to have to trust that you're doing it. But when I say the word fish, I want to see like a fish. Okay. When you hear the word boat, I want to see you rock from side to side, like you're on the boat. So let's have a go. I say the word boat, and we're rocking. Great. When you hear the name Jesus, I want you to go, Hosanna! So if I say Jesus, great. Okay, and the last one is the word fishing, not fish, fishing. I want you to throw your rod out and reel it in. So if I say fishing, out with the rod and reel it in. Okay, great. Right, let's see if you have been listening. I'm going to start to tell you the story. Let me move in a bit closer. Okay, one day shortly after the resurrection, Simon Peter, Thomas, Nathaniel, and the Zebedee brothers, and two other disciples were together. Simon Peter announced, "I'm going fishing." And the rest of them decided to go fishing with Simon Peter. So they got into a boat and went out to sea. They were out all night and caught no fish. The next morning, Jesus was standing on the beach, but the disciples didn't recognize him. Jesus spoke to them and said, "Good morning. Did you catch any fish for breakfast?" And they answered, "No." Jesus said, "Throw your net off to the other side of the boat and see what happens." So the disciples did what Jesus said. And all of a sudden, there were so many fish in the net that they weren't strong enough to pull the net in. Then John said to Simon Peter, "It's the Master." When Simon Peter realized that it was Jesus, he threw on some clothes and jumped off the boat and swam across the sea to Jesus. The other disciples came in by boat, as they weren't far from land, pulling along the net full of fish. When they got out of the boat, they saw that Jesus had made a fire with fish and bread cooking on it. Jesus said, "Bring some of the fish you've just caught." Simon Peter joined them and pulled the net to shore, 153 big fish. And even with all those fish, the net didn't rip. Jesus said, "Breakfast is ready," and not one of the disciples dared ask, "Who are you?" They knew it was the Master. Jesus then took the bread and gave it to them. He did the same with the fish. This was now the third time that Jesus had shown himself alive to the disciples since being raised from the dead. Well, that's the end of the story, and well done, everybody, and thank you so much for joining in so well. I know that you were listening really well to that story because I saw the actions, so I'm not going to say too much about it, except for to say sometimes when we're in situations, we can feel a bit like, where's Jesus? Where is he? And we don't recognise him, and we don't see that he's there. And it's a bit like that song Waymaker says, even when we don't see it, he's working. Even when we don't feel him, he's there. So if you can listen to the voice of Jesus in these situations, miraculous things can happen. I'll pass you back over to Helen for your song.